Letter 9 to Thomas Pennant, Esquire. By way of supplement, I shall trouble you once more on this subject, to inform you that Wolmer, with her sister Forest Ailes Holt, alias Alice Holt, as it is called in old records, is held by grant from the Crown for a term of years. Footnote. In Rot Inquisit de Statu Forest, in Skakakar, 36, edition 3, it is called Aesholt. In the same, Tit Wolmer and Aesholt Hantisk Dominus Rex habet unum capellum in hae sua de King Gesle. Haia sepes sepimentum parcus. Agal, hae, and hey. Spellman's Glossary. End footnote. The grantees that the author remembers are Brigadier General Emmanuel Scroop Howe and his lady, Ruperta, who was a natural daughter of Prince Rupert by Margaret Hughes, a Mr. Mordaunt of the Peterborough family, who married a dowager Lady Pembroke, Henry Bilson Legge and lady, and now Lord Stawell, their son. The lady of General Howe lived to an advanced age, long surviving her husband, and, at her death, left behind her many curious pieces of mechanism of her father's constructing, who was a distinguished mechanic and artist. Footnote. This prince was the inventor of mezzotinto, end footnote, as well as warrior, and among the rest a very complicated clock, lately in possession of Mr. Elmer, the celebrated game painter at Farnham, in the county of Surrey. Though these two forests are only parted by a narrow range of enclosures, yet no two soils can be more different, for the Holt consists of a strong loam, of a miry nature, carrying a good turf, and abounding with oaks that grow to be large timber, while Wolmer is nothing but a hungry, sandy, barren waste. The former, being all in the parish of Binsted, is about 2 miles in extent from north to south, and near as much from east to west, and contains within it many woodlands and lawns, and the great lodge where the grantees reside, and a smaller lodge, called Goose Green, and is abutted on by the parishes of Kingsley, Frinsham, Farnham, and Bentley, all of which have right of common. One thing is remarkable, that though the Holt has been of old well stocked with fallow deer, unrestrained by any pales or fences more than a common hedge, yet they were never seen within the limits of Wolmer, nor were the red deer of Wolmer ever known to haunt the thickets or glades of the Holt. At present the deer of the Holt are much thinned and reduced by the night hunters, who perpetually harass them in spite of the efforts of numerous keepers, and the severe penalties that have been put in force against them as often as they have been detected, and rendered liable to the lash of the law. Neither fines nor imprisonment can deter them. So impossible is it to extinguish the spirit of sporting, which seems to be inherent in human nature. General Howe turned out some German wild boars and sows in his forests, to the great terror of the neighborhood, and, at one time, a wild bull or buffalo, but the country rose upon them and destroyed them. A very large fall of timber, consisting of about 1,000 oaks, has been cut this spring, namely 1784, in the Holt Forest, 1/5 of which, it is said, belongs to the grantee, Lord Stawell. He lays claim also to the lop and top, but the poor of the parishes of Binsted and Frinsham, Bentley and Kingsley, assert that it belongs to them, and assembling in a riotous manner, have actually taken it all away. One man who keeps a team has carried home, for his share, 40 stacks of wood. 45 of these people his lordship has served with actions. These trees, which were very sound and in high perfection, were winter cut. That is, in February and March, before the bark would run. In old times the holt was estimated to be 18 miles, computed measure, from water carriage, namely from the town of Chertsey on the Thames, but now it is not half that distance, since the way is made navigable up to the town of Godalming in the county of Surrey.